It's Erin, and we did it. 8 more years. 8 more years. Welcome to my 8-year channel anniversary extravaganza Q&A celebration. So excited to make this video, and I promise that I won't get too mushy, but I do want to take a second before I do the Q&A to thank all of you, anybody who's watching now or will watch in the future, because no channel is going to last this long without having the viewers. And so thank you so much for all of your comments and your messages and emails and thumbs up and all of that stuff, subscribing, and your great messages to me and stuff like that, because I know that some people who make YouTube videos, they struggle a little bit with like the fact that you're kind of just talking to a camera, and maybe that's a little weird, but for me it's not, because I truly, like, when I make these videos, I'm talking to you guys, like, you're here because to me you are, like, it's not some, Tim Apple device that I'm talking into. It's like all of you, and that's because of your great comments and your interactions with me and stuff like that, where I feel like we're all together, and I appreciate you so much. So no YouTube is anything without the people who like and subscribe and stuff like that, so thank you. Okay, so I have my laptop because I'm filming on my phone, and so I'm gonna go through the questions, and I got mostly comments, a few emails, and I'll go through and answer as many of them as I can. So thank you for submitting the questions. So the first one is, how did you get through the ups and downs of having a YouTube channel? And I think the answer to that is pretty obvious, as far as I took breaks from time to time. Some of them were long and some of them were short, but having a YouTube channel is, for some people it's a job, and for some people it's a hobby, and either way it's a lot of work. I have taken a step back when I felt like a little overwhelmed, or life was, getting in the way, or my job was super busy, or whatever it may be. So I definitely recommend that for any area of life. Like, if you just need to take a step back, sometimes doing that will show you whether or not you will miss something. And I really missed doing this, which is why I came back. Like, when I left and took some time, it was really nagging at me to get back into it over time, and I'm glad that I listened to that and came back more regularly. The next question is, what was your first experience with ASMR, and do you know of anyone else in your personal life that experiences it also? I don't know if I have an exact moment that I remember, but I do have some memories of, like, being a little kid, like maybe like kindergarten, first grade, so I guess it would have been like 5 or 6, and like playing different games with my friends, like a teacher, or like, like those games that you would play where somebody would get up and like teach the class, or like playing house or whatever. And I have some other memories of like friends like doing my hair, like when you were younger, and you kind of just play with each other's hair and like try different things. And I do remember specifically with the hair, that's where I like remembered the kind of tingly feeling for the first time. So I don't know that I have a exact memory, but it was around that time. I don't have any memories of actual teachers. Like, I know a lot of people will say like, oh, my, you know, my first grade teacher, she had like the best voice or whatever. Mine were more like other friends of mine that we were like interacting with and playing those like teacher games and stuff like that. As far as I know, I don't have anybody in my like immediate circle that also experiences ASMR, although I will say that not a lot of people know. I would say probably only about 5 people, like really close to me, know that I even do this. So this is not like a very open thing in my life as far as like something that I would talk to a lot of people about or ask them about. But the people that I do have that know, there's about maybe 5 people that I've told about it and they know about it and stuff. They haven't like related to it or said like, oh, I get that too or whatever. So unfortunately I don't have that experience yet. The next question is, what's your favorite video that you've made? My favorite video that I've made is the Energy Healer roleplay. And I don't remember when it's from, but it's Energy Healer roleplay. I think it's in 2 parts because my camera sucked at the time. And the reason why it's my favorite is because if you've watched for a while, you'll know that a few years ago, for a while, I did a lot of house sitting and pet sitting. So I kind of fell into this like network of people that will like refer me to go watch their houses because I worked from home. So I was able to kind of like stay with their pets and stuff like that and not have to like leave for work. So I was house sitting for like a friend's sister-in-law that I didn't know very well, and she was apparently like had like a part-time gig as like a Reiki practitioner and like a very sort of esoteric healer kind of thing. She was like really into that stuff. So when I was house sitting for her, she had a whole room upstairs that was dedicated to all that she would like book people in for like sessions and stuff. And it had all of this, like there was like an amethyst crystal mat and like essential oils and all of these like healing statues and like adornments and decor and everything like that. And she said like, oh, if you want to lay on the crystal mat or if you want to do whatever, you can. And so when I saw the room, I was like, oh, I have to make a video in here. And it's my favorite one because it's so like hyper realistic because of the surroundings. Like I could never recreate something like that just with a regular role play. You know, like, not that there's anything wrong with it. I do it all the time and I do my best, but like for the most part, it's like I'm sitting at my dining room table, you know, like, welcome to the grocery store, and you're like, sure, you know. But in this instance, it was like a whole set, and I don't even really know a lot of stuff about those like products and healing stuff. I'm not even entirely sure I believe in any of it, but because of like the immersive kind of nature of it, I was able to really get into it and like, you know, play that character and stuff like that. So that was definitely my favorite video. Okay. The next question is, what do you think about all the changes to the ASMR community, originally called the Whisper community, since you first launched this account? So I think one of the major changes that I've seen, which is a really good thing, is the fact that it's not some like hidden secret anymore. I remember back in 2012 when I first started like watching and making the videos, everybody was like ashamed to like show their face. Like it was all just like tapping on stuff or like showing something or voicing over like a role play, like an audio role play. And some of it was because we were all taping on like Fujifilm cameras or like 3GSs and stuff like that. But a lot of it was like it was weird and like something kind of bashful. And now there's like Super Bowl commercials about it, and you know, it's like we made it. And so I love that it's a lot more normal, like it's a part of popular culture and celebrities are mentioning it. And it's not like, even though in my like personal life not a lot of people know about it, I do think that if I said more to people that that's what I did, that I would find more people that like knew about it and liked it and stuff like that. So that is that's a great thing. And there's such a variety. Like now there's all different kinds of like genres, and back then it was basically just like tapping and talking, and that was it. And now it's like such a wide variety. The next question is, are you and I think your brother still running your social media company? Wow, that has been also happening for around the same amount of time. So I still have the company, the social media company. My brother is not involved with it anymore. It is nothing drama related or bad. He worked with me for many years, and then he went to college in a different state and ended up meeting someone, and they have since gotten married, and now they live in that state. So he's not really around anymore to work on the company. So I still do have the company. I do still operate it. But it's not the only thing I do, and it's not my primary thing anymore. I have a few restaurants and people that I've worked with for many years who I stick with, but I actually do social media and some other things for like a full company now, like a bigger company. And I have sold out to the man because now I have like benefits and a paycheck and everything, but I am still able to like make my own schedule to a very good extent and travel, which is what I love to do. So I still have the social media company. I do social media for like an organization, and then I used to teach social media for business before, you know, the global situation, and I do some like public relations for some local organizations that if they need help like writing things and stuff like that. My goal, as I mentioned before, in 2021 is to start to transition into more of a YouTube and podcasting space. That is my ultimate goal, is to start a podcast and start another YouTube channel. And I am a little behind on that because I was sick, but it is in the works, and I'm very excited to share it with you guys when it's all ready to go. Next we have, which ASMR artists do you listen to regularly? So I don't have a super long list. I have like my favorites, and that's that. I'm always open to more people, but I just find like I'm such a familiar person, like I stick to certain people. So my absolute favorite, and has been for years and years and years, is Visual Sounds One, and that's Jen. I love her accent. I love her. She definitely has that like real authentic vibe. Like she has her hobbies and the things that she's into, and like it's so like kind of nerdy, and I'm like so into that. I don't like, it's interesting because she does a lot of like anime and some like horror stuff around, like specifically around Halloween, and I'm not into any of that. But I love her accent and her videos and how she's just like herself, and that's very cool. I obviously, Gentle Whispering, most people watch her. Another one, which is someone who has recently been going a lot more like full time, and I'm super excited about it, is Behind the Moons. I'm not sure if any of you listen to her. She is awesome. She is from France, and I love her accent so much. There's a couple of channels that are not really in operation anymore, but I still subscribe and listen to them. Lush Whispers is one of my favorites from back in the day. I don't think she's been around now for like years and years and years, but I love her voice. I like Savannah's voice. I like Whisperin' Storyteller. I like Dr. Bobby ASMR. I like Amal and ASMR Angel, Charlotte. One of the channels that I really like, I've gotten into recently, is she's like an ASMR slash, I guess like tarot kind of person, and she goes by Loon Innate. And I mostly like her because she's from New Jersey too. She's from like not that far away from me, even though she lives in Florida now. And I just really like her voice, and I think she has like a really calming presence. I don't watch it so much for like the esoteric stuff, but I just really like her. Like I think she has a good vibe. So I'll list all my favorite ones in the description, so you don't have to like go back if you have heard of somebody you don't know and want to check them out. Next question is, what is your favorite thing about being an ASMR artist? I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to answer like this because it's probably not just one thing, but my favorite thing is that it combines a lot of stuff that I really love into one. So I really genuinely enjoy public speaking. Like I enjoy performing, but not the type of performing like being in The Sound of Music, like, or being like in a play. But I really like speaking in front of crowds, or teaching, or just like kind of entertaining, I guess. So I'm able to do that here, but in a much more creative, imaginative way than, again, something like being in a play. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It doesn't suit my, creative side the same as something like this. So I really like that I'm able to just very much like be myself, and also play some characters and be creative and kind of come up with different video ideas, and interact with all of you guys. There's a lot that goes into videos, whether it's like the ideas or a script, or coming up with like props and stuff like that. And if I'm being honest, like there's a lot of times where I don't even have a script. I was actually talking to a friend of a friend recently who is starting a YouTube channel on golf. Like he's going to different golf courses and like rating and reviewing them. And he was telling me about this like editing software. And I said, yeah, like only within the past 6 months or so have I actually like either hired someone to edit a video or been like slowly teaching myself. And he was like, what did you do before that? And I was like, I just did it in one take. Like I that was my option, and if I made a mistake, I just laughed about it, or glossed right over it and just kept going, or whatever. I've never let like silly little things deter me from making videos. Like if there's a car alarm in the distance, or my cat jumps up, or whatever, like people get so hung up on these types of things to the point where they don't make anything. And it just makes me sad, because none of us are perfect, and this is difficult. Like this kind of filming and practicing and then, you know, trying to get it right and all that kind of stuff is not easy. I think people just think you push a button and go like, hey, and it's so much more involved than that. So yeah, I really enjoy all of the creative aspects and performance aspects. I just think that this type of thing suits a lot of my like interests and stuff like that, all in one medium. Next question is, how often do you listen to ASMR to sleep? And I actually don't really do that. Personally, I don't use ASMR to really like drift off to sleep. I do get ASMR and like the tingles and stuff like that, but for me it's a lot more of a relaxation or like calming, I guess, type of thing than actually falling asleep. I'm sure I have fallen asleep to a video before, but it's difficult for me to like be watching something and be into it and like then also drift off to sleep, because I get like invested in them. Like if somebody's showing off like clothes or a haul or whatever, I don't get tired. I just kind of like use it to zone out, I guess. So even though it's definitely something that has happened before, it's not what I typically like use it for. And the next question is, 2020 has obviously been a very challenging and stressful year for so many people. 2020 sucks. Looking back at this difficult year, what was a highlight or a peak for you? I can think of two things that were highlights for me. The first is in February, like 3 weeks before everything totally shut down, I got to see one of my favorite bands perform in Philadelphia. They're called Local H. I don't know if anybody else has heard of them. They were really popular in the 90s, and even though they've been like touring and doing stuff since then, they haven't really been like as popular on the radio or anything like that. But going to concerts is one of my favorite things, and something I've missed a lot during all of this. And so the fact that that was one of the last things that I got to do before everything shut down was a real highlight. Their shows are always really awesome. And then the second thing is, I'm not actually sure if I mentioned it on this channel. I feel like I had to have at some point. But anyway, in October 2020, so just a few months ago, I actually went on a trip by myself, and it was so much fun. And I did something that I had done in the past, but it had been like at least 10 years since I did it, and it's something that is like a very unique and fun thing that I like to do, and that is a long train trip. So I actually went to Chicago, and I took the train from Philadelphia to Chicago. It's about a day, like maybe like 25 hours or something, and it was perfect. It was amazing. It was so much fun. I went when I did because it was right when the leaves were changing, like in the fall. So I got to go through like Maryland and Virginia and like the top of Kentucky and like Ohio and Indiana and into Illinois. And because of being on the train, I got to watch all of the like beautiful scenery go by, and all of the like reds and greens and yellows, and there were some like beautiful bridges and water features and things like that. It was, it was during the global situation. Looking back on it, I'm not sure if it was the best choice I ever made. I was nervous about it, but I did everything I could to protect myself as far as masks, and the weather was beautiful, so I was able to like eat outside, spend a ton of time outside in like parks and stuff like that. And I also went to the Chicago Botanical Gardens, which were amazing, and I just spent the entire day like walking around looking at flowers and trees and waterfalls and displays and things like that. So if anyone's interested in seeing any like pictures or having me make like a video of my pictures and stuff like that, let me know. Next question is, what are your favorite types of videos to watch? So I like role plays, I like haul videos, like shopping hauls, or like show and tell type things, what I got for Christmas or what I got for my birthday or whatever. I like, this is like oddly specific, but I really like those videos where people like they have an effect, like a voice effect, where it sounds like they're on the phone. Maria had done one a while ago where it was like a phone survey, like a department store calling to like see how your experience was. And then it's not somebody I listen to a lot, but her name is Grace. I think it's like Accidentally Graceful. She's done a couple where it's like that voice effect. I really like those. Another thing I really like, and I've gotten into a lot more recently, is the unintentional ASMR videos. There's like a whole channel of it, and they'll play interviews from people, or like training videos from like doctor exams, but it's like real stuff. It's not for ASMR purposes, but it tends to have the same response because of like the nature of it. And I think I really love and gravitate towards those videos because they're very natural. Like I don't know if I'm gonna get like struck by ASMR lightning right now, so I'm sorry if I like offend anybody, but like I absolutely love Maria, and I have been watching her channel for like 8 years, 10 years, whatever. But I feel like in the last couple of years she's like drifted into this unnatural sort of area where everything is like over pronounced or like over enunciated and very slow, and it's frustrating to me. I'm not enjoying the stuff as much as I used to. I actually tend to watch her vlog channel more because it is just her naturally talking and speaking, and I do love her voice. But things tend to be so slow with a lot of people now, where it's like, welcome to the spa. And I'm like, no, people don't talk like that. Like, that's not how people speak to each other. Like, if I went to an eye doctor or a clothing store or something, they would just have a regular chat with me. And if I call customer service, like, they're not gonna speak in slow tones, So I gravitate towards very natural, very authentic experiences where it's just people talking normally with a soothing voice. Some people just have a really great voice for it. And stay away from like the overproduced stuff. Next question is, do your friends and family watch ASMR? I think I had already answered that. So far, I don't know of anybody who does. What is your favorite thing to do and what makes you happy? Okay. I love to travel. I love watching hockey and going to hockey games. I like listening to podcasts, and I've become a big podcast and audiobook fan over the past few years. I like reading and cooking. I'm a big WWE wrestling fan, so I like watching wrestling. I like spending time outside. I like going to the beach, and like just being out and going to see like different beautiful areas. I love botanical gardens. I can't wait till, we're allowed to kind of travel a lot more freely, because there's so many places that I want to go. I would love to do like an ASMR travel series, like going different places and sort of like touring around, but like, with like a relaxing voice and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody would want to see that, but that would be like my dream. That would be awesome. Oh, and I mentioned before, I love like concerts and music and stuff like that. Music is like one of my favorite things. Someone called me lovely and authentic, which is a very big compliment, so thank you. And they asked if I take more after my mom, my dad, or neither. I definitely think I'm a mix of both of them. My dad is like a business executive type of person, somebody who's really like sarcastic and funny, but like deadpan funny, like someone who showed me Mel Brooks movies at like way too young of an age, and I'm very thankful for that. Both of my parents have very good senses of humor. My mom is a teacher. She teaches like little kids, and she's very like whimsical and like dancing and singing, very like childlike, like she's like right down there with the little kids, like wacky kind of. And my dad is more of the like business budget kind of guy. So I like that I'm a little bit of both. I like to be sarcastic and funny, but also not take things too seriously if I don't have to. I do like to sing a lot, like make dinner and sing. And at the same time, like I definitely take after my dad's like business and consulting sort of background, as far as like entrepreneuring, that's not a word, having my own business and stuff like that. I do kind of take after my dad in the like anxiety and worrying department. So sometimes we don't always get the handed down the best attributes, but like a lot of people who watch and make ASMR, like I have dealt with a lot of anxiety and stuff in the past. So I think I definitely have a mix of both of them in all of the, best and worst ways. The next question is when and why I started making ASMR videos. I think I have a similar story to other people, which is back in, I guess, like 2011, 2012. I don't know if it was when YouTube was just becoming a thing or if I just had discovered it then, but I started to search for, and I don't remember the exact search terms, but maybe like relaxing videos or like anxiety videos or whatever. And back then, I think one of the main people or videos that popped up at the time was that woman Lita, who did like the massage videos and had the most like soothing, relaxing voice. And then I realized like I got that like tingly feeling that I remembered from when I was a kid. And so I kept like searching for those types of videos, whether it was like relaxing voice or soothing voice or something like that. And And then as I did that, the more like whisper videos started to come into my like search results and stuff like that. And I don't think it was too long after that when I decided that I wanted to make my own videos. I've always been interested in like multimedia and performing and things like that. I have a communications degree, and I did take lots of classes in like broadcasting, and I was actually part of a TV show on the campus that I went to, so I do have some background in like TV performing and things like that. And it was something that I wanted to get into, was making my own videos and like contributing to the community. And I do remember having like a sense of wanting to give back because the videos had helped me so much with like anxiety and whatnot. So I was like, you know, these things are helping me and I want to try to help other people as well. So yeah, that's the when and why of me starting the channel. And the last question that I have is if I have any advice for anyone else that might be thinking about starting an ASMR channel. So I think the advice would be something similar to advice that I would give to anybody doing anything, which is to do it for the right reasons. You know, I think that there's a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people in general, that think that it's going to be like an overnight success, or that it's easy, or that you know, they're going to be famous or whatever. And it absolutely does happen sometimes where people are like an overnight success. They just get discovered or collaborate with somebody, or somebody mentions them and like sends them skyrocketing or whatever. But more often than not, like, you know, there's a large sea of people and it takes time to get noticed. If you don't genuinely like doing it, like if you're doing it just to like make a bunch of money or be famous or whatever, then it might be very discouraging to people. So, you know, it would be I would just make sure that it's something you really enjoy, that you have fun with it, that you're doing it because you like to do it and not for any wrong reasons. Also, I know I've mentioned this before, but understanding that if you are looking to do it more like full or part-time, as far as like not necessarily a job, but like a consistent thing, that there is some like actual work that goes into it, as far as like the time, effort, energy, the scheduling, the planning, the actual filming, that sometimes doesn't go great. Sometimes you have to film something all over again. Sometimes the sound is messed up. Sometimes your camera runs out of batteries. You know, so like sometimes you just don't feel like it. And I think that there's like a little bit of a sentiment when it comes to YouTubers where it's like that it's like just so much fun all of the time. And it is like anything else, like there's effort and work that goes into it. So you maybe have to like put yourself on a schedule, and even if you don't necessarily want to, you should do it anyway, or kind of like just start and kind of like get into the vibe, because it's not always going to be like, yeah, hey, I'm excited to record something. And that's just the reality of it. YouTube's like algorithms and ad policies and stuff like that have changed so much over time that it's not easy to just jump right on here and like, you know, make money doing it. I make exactly $0 for doing this, and it's because I don't actually like meet the standards yet. I'm a lot closer than I was, but the YouTube like partner program or whatever is you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 video watch hours in a year, which, like my friend that's doing the golf videos found out, is really hard to get to. And unless, you know, like you have a video that catches fire or you're like really popular or whatever. I started doing more regular videos in like March or April when I started working from home, and I still have like almost 1,000 hours left to go of watch time before I can even make like a nickel doing YouTube videos, and I don't do it for that. So for me, it's like, oh, okay, I'll get there when I get there. But for other people, I don't think they realize, like, you have to, it could take some people, I think they said like 8 to 12 months before you can, like, you know, actually make money doing a YouTube channel. So I just like to tell people that so they kind of understand, like, this is not just to jump on and put ads on your videos and stuff like that. So I think that's it for the Q&A, and again, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was interesting in any way and relaxing in any way, and I have some ideas for videos coming up. I've been doing a lot of videos this week because I'm like completely off of work and I have no obligations other than this, and so I'm like very like chill and not feeling a lot of like pressure to get a bunch of stuff done. So I've been having some fun, and then after next week it'll go back to like maybe a video a week or so. So happy holidays to everyone, happy new year, 2021, here we come, and thank you so much for watching.